Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this third day of the Odoo experience. My name is Trokus Janki, and today we're going to talk about the groundbreaking innovations at Google and what we can share with you today. By the way, it might be a good moment to also start picking up your phone and scan the following QR codes for the questions, if you have any. And next to that, if you have taken the picture. If you've taken the picture, yes. Let's go to also, okay, let's start at the beginning. So, all of you probably know Google, I guess, right? That's the search engine. But if you consider that that's for the consumer market, one of the top products, but we also have Google Cloud, which is built for enterprises. And that's actually also the reason why we're here today with Odoo. So if you look at the Google Cloud itself, it has five big areas, which is the modern infrastructure cloud, the developer cloud for the CI/CD, the DevOps part, the data cloud, we understand data, the security cloud, that's one of the things that we're really strong at, and a collaboration cloud with Google Workspace. All of these components actually have something in common, and that's AI. So AI at Google has many ways of getting to you. We want to make sure that everybody can start using it. So we want to make sure that the use of AI is democratized. That means everybody should be able to use it. And if it's from pre-trained APIs and agents to what we call custom AI, where you just add your data and we will do the magic behind the scenes for you with a product called AutoML. Which is actually like a no-code, low-code kind of situation. And then, of course, if you're into the data science part, then you can go really fast and you can go deep with end-to-end AI with Vertex AI. So let's start with something with the whole stack, in fact. So if you look at it from a higher level, we have what we call the AI hypercomputer. I'll dive into that for the details. Then we have models. And Google is one of those cloud vendors that has their first-party models, the Gemini models. But also we support third-party models like Anthropic and Claude, and also open-source models like Llama. All of those can be run in Vertex AI. So let's start with Vertex AI. So Vertex AI is the platform where we want to make sure you get the best of Google's models, but also from the industry. Also, you should be able to do end-to-end building of your platform, and you have choice at any level, right? Also, it should be, for you, easy and faster to deploy, to develop and deploy your agents grounded in your enterprise truth. So you don't, like generative AI and especially large language models are known to hallucinate, and that's something you cannot afford in some contexts, right? And also, we want to make sure you build for a foundation of enterprise readiness. So you should be able to scale with all the security handles in place. So let's start diving into this. So what's happening now with all the Gen AI that's happening around us at this moment, the generative AI part, it's actually the amount of compute is enormous. At Google, we see that it's so big that we need compute and data, and we've never seen it as this big before. It's really big. So we also already see that it takes like 10 times more compute than a couple of years ago, just to make sure that you have the best models out there, etc. The models are also getting bigger, so that means more compute power is required. The good thing is that Google is recognized for the AI infrastructure on a high level by Forrester, but also for the strategy for doing AI in business. So let's dive a little bit deeper into the AI hypercomputer. We have 3 layers, starting at the bottom with performance-optimized hardware. And what you see in there is that we have, it's nice to have models, but the underlying infrastructure is really important to make sure that you do a good show. So storage, compute, and networking. So first of all, on the compute side, we see that we now have NVIDIA, the H100 machines are available. So that means that you have enormous compute power compared to the previous generation of machines at NVIDIA with the A100s. Also, what we also announced is that the Grace Blackwell machines from NVIDIA are also going to be available in Google Cloud. So that means you have even more power available to yourself, and it's all on demand, right? You just ask for it and you'll get the hardware. Also, Google is also known for many years already. I think we're doing this about more than a decade, that we're building our own specific custom-made AI hardware, and we've been using it actually. So all the AI capabilities that you now see in Google Workspace, but also in Google Search and in Google Maps and all the products, are actually powered by our tensor processing units. And the latest one is the TPU version 5P, which stands for performance, and allows you to scale quite big. So Google gives you the option to make sure that you build, keeping cost in mind, performance in mind, but also productivity in mind. So that's on the hardware level. If you look at the storage side, then there's one particular thing that I want to highlight today, and that's if you're building large models, and there are a couple of companies out there that can actually build those large models, then you need something what we call the hyperdisk ML. It's a network attached block storage optimized for inference and serving. So that means once your model is trained, you can really fast get to all the data in the model and infer, in fact, the outcome. So this, on a higher level, is what we have on the hardware side. Looking at the next level is the software side. So Google is known to be, very open with TensorFlow. We provided it to the community, but also what we want is also that if you already use the PyTorch or some other framework, then you should also be able to use it, and that's what we have here in this layer. Another thing is that what we see is that customers are starting to use less VMs and more Kubernetes with machine learning, which is very interesting because Kubernetes allows you to scale, and especially if you have the hardware attached to it, like the TPUs or the GPUs, you can actually move really fast and scale quite big. 900% increase in use of GPUs with Google Kubernetes engine. Another thing that is very important is if you have machine learning workloads and you want to consume it, it can be very expensive. You can say, okay, I want to have the GPU for a full year, but maybe half of the time it's not doing anything. So, or you have people waiting for it, etc. So what we have is 4 options, but the most important one now for today is the dynamic workload scheduler, which allows you, in fact, by calendar mode, start a certain project, the training part, or do it on a flex start. So you can imagine that, for example, in the weekends, maybe the inference within your organization is less. So that means you can start using it for training, for new models, for new iterations. So you have a couple of options here, right? This is something with what you can choose. Next to that, if you look at the full stack, so the AI hypercomputer is a combination of hardware, software, and some models to make sure that you can actually get the best out of your performance, so that it's not cost-wise too expensive. Let's dive a little bit deeper. We see also that customers want this all capability that is available in the cloud, but they want to have it local. And that's actually where AI Anywhere, that's how we call it. We have Google Distributed Cloud, which allows you to do computing at the edge in a sovereign cloud or cross-cloud, right? So that also gives you some flexibility to see what's happening. Let's dive now to the software layer, because here is the interesting part, because the hardware is there, but the combination of how you produce and build software is in Vertex AI. So Vertex AI has 3 big areas. We have what we call the model garden, and the model garden is an environment where you actually have like 130 plus models, and I wanted to show you that. So, for example, here. So, if you're not familiar with this, but this is the Google Cloud environment, and here you can scroll through all the products. In the artificial intelligence section, there's a section called Vertex AI. Yes. And in Vertex AI, continue. In Vertex AI, you have the model garden, and actually here, you as an end user can start utilizing open models, third-party models, first-party models in one environment. So, for example, say you want to do something with language, and it needs to be from Meta. Then the latest models from Meta are actually available for you to start using it. It's very powerful. It allows you to do quite some things. So the model garden is something that's now available, and we're updating it actually quite fast. So I think there's already more than 150 models in there. So that's what I wanted to show you. Then on the other side, so there's the model. Also, we have Gemini 1.5 Pro available, which is Google's most advanced model, which allows you to reason, but also has the largest context window of 2 million tokens. So if it's like you're uploading like a full, all the versions of Harry Potter, all the books of Harry Potter, or the Lord of the Rings, and you upload it and you just any question to it. You don't have to do some preparations or make blocks and maybe upload later. With Gemini 1.5 Pro, you can actually have 2 million tokens in memory. So what does it allow you to do? It actually allows you to have as input text, images, video, and audio. And you can actually start asking that data. You can ask that data for information. So you can extract data accurately from different sources. So in this case, you see that it's more a table structure. You can search and analyze and answer questions. But also, you can understand code bases, especially if you are into a migration project, when there's lots of old code that needs to be migrated to new code. We can actually learn from how you did it and repeat it on the rest of the code that needs to be migrated. And of course, a super cool feature I like is ask questions of your videos. Let's show you. So what I wanted to show here is, so this is the Google Cloud Next.
To Google Cloud Next.
More or less summary video. And I want to, so there's lots of information being said and on the screen. And what I want to do here is make sure that I can actually ask a question to this video. So what I do here, I'm going to Vertex AI Studio. I want to see all. And I'm saying, you know, so you can, on any of the modalities, as mentioned a moment ago, you can actually do a couple of things. So I want to do on a video, I want to do a Q&A on video. So what I'm doing here is I'm just going to ask that video for information. So how do we do that? I insert data. So this,
Welcome.
the same video. And what is this video about, and how many people attended this event? Yep, just a random question, just typing in. So what you're going to see is that we're going to try to process the data, and if I'm not mistaken, within like a couple of seconds, it will actually give you an answer that this video is, as you can see here, is about Google Cloud Next conference. It's a technology conference showing 30,000 people attended this event. So you can actually talk and query data in a very nice way. So let's move forward. This is just the beginning. This video is actually also very interesting because what happens here is while you're doing what I just showed
Let's do
you.
some tests. Tell me when you see something that makes sound.
I see a speaker, which makes sound.
What is that part of the speaker called?
That is the tweeter. It produces high-frequency sounds.
Give me a creative alliteration about these.
Creative crayons color cheerfully. They certainly craft colorful creations.
What does that part of the code do?
This code defines encryption and decryption functions. It seems to use AESCBC encryption to encode and decode data based on a key and an initialization vector, IV.
That's right. What neighborhood do you think I'm in?
This appears to be the King's Cross area of London. It is known for its railway station and transportation connections.
Do you remember where you saw my glasses?
Yes, I do. Your glasses were on the desk near a red apple.
What can I add here to make this system faster?
Adding a cache between the server and database could improve speed.
What does this remind you of?
Schrodinger's cat.
All right, give me a band name for this duo.
Golden Stripes.
Nice. Thanks, Gemini.
So what you're seeing here is what's happening. Actually, because of the long context window, you can actually cache information and look back in time while you're busy. You're recording the information, and you're combining video with speech and timeline of events. So when or in the past. So this is quite interesting. All that. So the model, the Gemini model, is available in Model Garden. Then we also have something called the Model Builder, which allows you to tune and customize your data, ground your results, evaluate performance and quality, and deploy and monitor. Very important. So tune and customize your data is quite important, and there are quite some details that we can discuss. Also, what is very important is, again, LLMs can hallucinate. So how do you make sure that the data that is generated is in fact usable and real? So that's why we announced that we have grounding with Google Search. And it's a very powerful thing, because if you, for example, do this query, what is the 401k contribution limit? Without grounding, you might get the answer of last year. With grounding, you actually get the information of this year, as you can see it here. And it will give you the source also. So also it allows you to enter your data, your enterprise databases and your data storage, so you can actually ask the data that is on-prem or in some other location. What we also see is that customers say, there are so many models out there, which one is the best? Well, a couple of things that we can offer you is prompt management. How can you do better prompting? Because prompting is not necessarily a big science, but if you do it right, you'll get the right answer. But hey, guess what? One prompt for one model doesn't work for another model with the same prompt. So that's why we have automatic side-by-side comparison. So you can actually compare different vendors, open source, third party, first party, together and see the outcome of that with the same prompt or maybe with a tuned prompt. And also what we have is rapid evaluation, because testing costs money because you're using hardware. So how do you evaluate responses with small data sets? And that's what we do with rapid evaluation. Then we go to Agent Builder. That's on top of the Model Builder. So a generative AI agent is defined as an application that tries to achieve a goal by observing the world and acting upon it, and uses tools that it has at its disposal. Yep, it's a very broad definition. But if you look at GenAI agent categorization, you have modality-based. Is it text? Is it audio? Is it video? Is it a combination of that? Or you have use case-based. Is it gaming? Is it healthcare, manufacturing, cybersecurity? So there are quite some ways to look at how GenAI agents are categorized. What we see also in the kind of interactions is that it's most of the times a conversational agent. We talk about it as if we're chatting to somebody. So chit-chat, user queries are triggered, and then you fulfill the user queries. But it can also be a workflow agent that does something autonomously. You just give it an assignment, and it will do it for you. So to give you an example of how the anatomy is of an agent has something what we call a reasoning loop. We have a model underlying it, so that's why it can be any model. It's not necessarily Gemini only. And then you have tools that give you the data on the several levels. So if the user starts inquiring and say, I want to have a flight to from Austin to Zurich, it will actually ask you to get the data and use the tools underlying. And then you get a proposal of the number of, how do you say it? The number of options that you have. So with Vertex AI Agent Builder, you can do human-like conversations, control and shape the conversation, and ground again to make sure that you have the best possible outcome for your end user. To show you a little bit of that, so the agents are all built on top of it, but underlying, as you can see, is the hardware and the hypercomputer that I just mentioned. Yep. So let's look at a couple of creative agents. So for example, we announced Imagine 3, which allows you text-to-image models. These are, it's really hard to distinguish them from real generated or real photos, for example. So to show you that, I might need to go a little bit faster in this video, but...
Hi, I'm Andrea Dermovich, Senior Manager, Global E-commerce.
This is Puma.
Google
And what they do is with Imagine, and you'll get a glimpse of it.
Google Cloud's Imagine is helping our global content team create dynamic imagery.
They show it here.
Let's say a new trail running shoe just
so here you see the shoes.
I only need
and
to click on
with GenAI and with correct prompting,
then based on my prompt, a variety of sample images
they actually generate images that can be used in the marketing outing also.
Nice.
Yep, and those images are high quality, and this is actually a real reference of customers using them.
Hi, I'm Andrea Dermovich.
Moving forward, we also have text-to-life image. So it looks like this. So you have a little bit more immersive. It's an image, but animated. Or something like this with a drone, where you just prompt and it will show it. Next. Yeah. So all of this is important, and we need to make sure that you know that it is a generated image. So that's why at Google we have digital watermarking. Together with Google DeepMind, we built SynthID, which allows you to understand that this is a generated image. And also, this is actually quite cool. How do you edit images? You just select the item, you stretch it, and then you get an extra mountain in there, or you make the picture bigger, and you have a lot better experience here. So creative agents. This is just an example of an agent using this. Has many facets to it. The last thing that I want to show you is this video, which is actually a real-life situation.
Believe you're saying that by using AI, the productivity in their ad teams has been boosted more than 50%. Tell me, if you can, about that measurement and how long that can continue, because that seems like an awfully large boost.
Yes, most importantly, the ads that the team used our platform to build, along with Accenture, are seeing 20% higher conversion. So the business value came to them from two dimensions. One, when they placed the ad, they saw a 20% lift in conversion. Second, when they created the ad, because the tools are now so effective at creating an image, generating the image, creating the copyright, like the documentation, the print that goes with it, translate it into many different languages. And because you can run many experiments, you can find the right creative content that improved the speed with which they could do it by 50%. So
believe you're saying that by...
So what you see here is by using an efficient stack, you can actually generate more revenue on the one side for the ad side, but you can do it also very efficiently, right? You can experiment more. You don't have to wait a lot of time. And this is a real life situation with the Radisson Hotel Group. So with that, I want to end. The future of AI is here, and it's powered by Google Cloud in some cases. So in that context, this whole stack and all the agents with it makes sense. Thank you very much. Q&A time, but if there are any questions, feel free to visit us at the Google booth just over there, and then we'll continue the conversation. Yes, thank you very much.